Welcome back to a new video. So in this workout, I started out with some no-foot snatches, went on to some cleans, did some jerks, and then ended with some jerk dip squats, which were an interesting movement to do at the end and one that I think will be a good one to do. So I'm back to the Romileo 2s. They're certainly more comfortable, or I should say, they feel better when I'm doing the movements. The Addy Powers are more comfortable as just a shoe, but the Romileos are definitely more comfortable when I'm doing the movements. And I feel like they're sturdier at the bottom, which I think is the big difference. But I did no foot, like I said, up to 110. I did a no foot plus an overhead squat, which was very difficult. My best ever in a no foot, I was thinking about this after I recorded the commentary for the last video, was 120 or is 123. I don't think I've done more than that, and it's one of those things that once you get to like a maximal no foot, then your feet just kind of move a little bit, so then it's hard to really delineate. It's kind of like doing a pow snatch versus a power snatch. You know it's a no foot snatch till it's kind of in between, then it's like who knows if it really counts or not. And I think that's how the 123 was. I think one of my feet moved and then my other one didn't. I don't know, I remember it looking kind of weird, but anywho, moved on after the no foot snatches to the cleans, and these felt difficult, but I did take pretty big jumps. Went from 60 to 102 to this 143. Had to double bounce that. Not really sure why I had to double bounce, but I guess I just wasn't feeling it this day. Then decided time to Clark. Was not confident on that first one. That first one that I Clarked fell in front, and then that second one I really should have just did it. I just wasn't confident, and honestly, and then there, you can see there, crashed on me, all kinds of stuff, but 1 kilo up from that 160 I did earlier in the week, and so, you know, a positive move in that regard, and came back after Clarking it twice. But cleans are one of those things that if you are unsure, you should just Clark it and not try it, because you can come back and do it. If you're unsure and then you go under it, then sometimes your body does weird things. That's how I hurt my hip. I did a weight that I should have just Clarked and decided to dive under it, 100% committed it, and my feet went out too far and stretched out my body in a way that I didn't need to. You saw there with the jerks, I got up to 156 and missed it, 156. On the last two times I was doing jerks out of the rack, I jumped to 160 or 161, and I missed it, so I took a smaller jump there, but was just tired at that point, so I didn't really have much hope after that 143 jerk that I would have more. I just kind of wanted to try it, and then went to these jerk dip squats. It was really just trying to feel the movement out, and it was an interesting movement. When I was doing the holds, I was feeling it's hard to really say, it's not pain in my hip, but I was feeling my right like IT band and hip have to work, and I think that's because they're just weaker right now. So I think this will actually be a good movement for not only just jerks, obviously, but also for squats. I think even a little bit deeper might be good, like a partial squat to hold, because when you're in that partial squat position, it does really kind of work your hips, and so I think that might be an actual good movement for me to do. That, and it also will build that tolerance in that front rack position, which is always good to do. When I got up here to 180, I just did a hold in the jerk dip, and that was really difficult, so kind of just an isometric. So I think the hold might be nice as well to do here. More of just, you know, like I said, an isometric, but like a stabilization thing. So I don't know, I might add them in. They're an easy movement to add in. It's one that you're not really like worried about if you have it in a session that you're going to be really tired from the next day or whatever, but it could be one that is a good like accessory movement. So I haven't done them in quite a while, but I think it'll be one that I'll add in to really get some more work in the jerk without having to do the jerk itself, and also to overload the dip drive of the jerk, which is a useful thing to do. You see a lot of different countries do it. Chinese especially love to do it, but you know, after a certain point in the weight, it becomes a bit excessive. It's kind of like me with deadlifts. Like, doing pulls is great, but if I'm doing a pull with like 280 kilos, it's not going to really carry over too much to the clean. But if I'm doing faster pulls with something closer to 190 or 200, it's going to have a bit more of a carryover. Same thing happens with most kind of accessory movements for the most part, but there are probably exceptions. But I've talked for too long in this one. There's too much blank space at the end. I'm going to wrap this one up here. If you made it this far, I appreciate it, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.